Don't get struck by the way I look. Don't judge a book by its cover. I'm not a man, but by the light of a day, I'm one hell of a lover. Yes, today we are talking about the film, The Rocky Horror Picture Show. The cult classic musical film starring Tim Curry. Let's get right down and talk about it then. That was me. Yeah. Let's just get off that. Greetings and salutations. How's everybody doing? So, welcome to another review. And today, sorry, just turned too much leg. Today we're looking at the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And yes, I believe this could be our first time talking about a musical. So basically, the film was actually based on the 1973 musical stage show production, Rocky Horror Show, with music, book, and lyrics by O'Brien. The production is a parody tribute to science fiction and horror B movies 1930s through the 1960s. So what was the story of Rocky Horror Picture Show? Well, the story involves a young couple that has just gotten engaged. After the car breaks down near a castle, they seek a telephone to call. But the castle, they don't really know, is actually an elaborate, convention and the house of Dr. Frankenfurter, an apparently mad scientist who is actually an alien transvestite from the planet Transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania, who creates a living muscle man named Rocky in his laboratory. And if you're probably thinking that whole idea sounds like a Frankenstein film, and the whole bits involving Rocky are actually in a way a bit Frankenstein, except minus the grave digging and more of a sex appeal to it.
Dynamic tension.
And I gotta say that everyone in this film does a great job. But one person that really sells this film though, Tim Curry.
How about that?
He actually helps elevate the. Well, actually, I gotta say a lot of the actors do, but he really he's the selling point of this film in my opinion. A funny story. When I did this a review of this film on another channel. When I first started reviewing films, someone actually made a comment on the review I did of this film, and it still stays with me. But moving on with that, but like I said, when it comes to musicals, I really love them. But when I first got it, when I was in high school, I'll be honest, my love of musicals has gotten a lot better. When I first started getting musicals, yeah, you could only just say, I would mostly just say Phantom of the Opera or Sweeney Todd, what it was but I like to think I've gotten better at liking musicals. When it comes to say cult films, I can see why this film has the status of cult classic, and that the music is just really a lot of fun. By the way, I'm not going to use a ton of music of it because don't want to get a strike or copyright claim. But I I gotta say, one of my favorite musicals, favorite songs from the musical though, is although Janet, damn it, Janet's good, and actually a lot of the songs are good, but I do love this. I do gotta say the two songs that I really like though is besides the Time Warp are Hot Patootie slash Bless My Soul by sung by Meatloaf. I mean, honestly, I was first singing it when I was doing that intro to actually sing that song, but yeah, I don't really know what to. And honestly, I can. They're like say the film is like a bit of when it comes to the film, it has a bit of a love, like, not really love. I can see why the film has the huge angle towards the LGBT community, and that both Janet and Brad at the beginning of the film, they just start as like this straight-laced couple at the beginning of the film, and as the film goes on, they just discover like this really strange world of, one would say, kink, I'd say, and that, well, there's like the bedroom scenes where Dr. Frank is basically hitting on both Janet and Brad. And I could say that'd be a bit of a reaction to how society was in the 60s and the 70s, like say the free love era, and that how like say perhaps that was like say in a way how people just like realize like say, oh, like, you know, like, it's cool to be interested in both genders, I guess. I do like, although it constantly say we're from the planet of transsexual and Transylvania and all that, I do find it weird how at the ending of the film they like say Riff Raff and Magenta, they come out and just like say, hey, we're taking over, we're gonna get off this planet now. I do find it just like say, okay. And then I do think, honestly, this is just how I feel when because eventually it's gonna unfortunately happen when Mr. Tim Curry unfortunately leaves this plane. I can see that a lot of people will use the "I'm Going Home" song. And yeah, one thing that makes this film great is it's a lot of fun. The music is great. The acting is great. The costuming is just wonderful. And I do feel like, say, if someone really likes musicals, but they're trying to get their friends into musicals, I'd say this one and
A certain actual scientific reason heals takes the leg and the hindquarter region, lifting the rear and making it appear hurt and ready for mating season.
That's the scientific view, but you know what I say? The sex is in the heel.
I'd say if you're trying to get someone interested in musicals, you could show them this one, or I'd say if you're going to get someone interested in musicals, I'd say you could start with this one, because this one's actually a lot of fun. You might get someone interested in it in a way. But, yeah, that's just how I feel. Well, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to keep your drinks ice cold, your popcorn buttery and warm. And keep your eyes on the screen. And one more. Let's do the time warp again. I'm not much to say, I apologize.